Good morning, my name is Fernanda Silva. I am a tutor for Parkland Middle School, and today I want to talk to you and explain about intercepts, both X and Y. So I'm going to go ahead and explain what they are, give a definition for both the X and the Y, and go ahead and explain as well how you're able to apply this to your real life problems and how they're going to help you with your future math problems. So I'm going to start off with a simple linear equation, which is half times x minus 3. So in order to know what points to graph, you can just go ahead and choose whatever points you want for your x, and I chose 0, 2, and 4. And in order to find the y values, you just go ahead and plug in the numbers that you chose to your x, and you get the y values. So now that you have the points, you're just going to go ahead and graph them. So 0 and 3, 2 and -2, and 4 and -1. You go ahead and connect them as well because it's a linear equation. And when you connect them, the line itself represents that any point in that line that touches that line will satisfy the equation. So whatever point here is going to be plugged in here, and it's going to satisfy the equation. So now we're going to go ahead and look for the x-intercept. So what it means is when the line or point crosses the x-axis. So right here in our equation, when it crosses the x-axis is when y equals 0. So 6 and 0. 6 as x, 0 as y. So now for our y-intercept, it's when x is equal to 0. So right here in our equation, and you can see it in the table as well, when x is equal to 0, our y equals -3, and that's our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is also found in the equation itself. It's the number without a variable next to it, and in this case, it's -3. So now, when you don't have a single number and can distinguish that that's the y-intercept, and you have both variables have a number in front of them, then you just plug in zeros for both your x and your y's. So in this equation, our x-intercept is when y equals 0. So when y equals 0, our x equals 6. And our y-intercept, x equals 0, our y equals 5. So we just go ahead and graph them both, connect them, and again, any point in that line is going to satisfy this equation. And right here it shows where our line crosses the y and our line crosses the x. And again, you can see them over here as well. So again, just remember, x-intercept is equal when y equals 0, and our y-intercept is when our x equals 0, and x and the y-intercepts are found in the equation as well when they don't have a variable in front of it. So now, if you're wondering how can you use this in your real life, so let's say you're saving money. So you start off with $20 a week, $20, right? And you're a week, you add $10. So you write down your equation, so it's going to be y equals 20, which is what you start off with, plus $10 and x as your weeks. So now, how much at 0 weeks? So how much money are you going to have at 0 weeks? So 0 weeks is your x. So this is going to give you your y-intercept. Because you're looking for when x is equal to 0. So now, what week will you have $0? If you want $0 and that's your y, so then that would be your x-intercept. So that's when your y is equal to 0. So now in your equation, you have a number that doesn't have a variable in it. So that the 20, which is what you start with, would be your y-intercept. So 20 equals y-intercept. So now you're trying to see for when your y is equal to 0. So you can just go ahead and plug that into your equation. So your y is 0 is equal to 20 plus 10x. So to find the x-intercept, you want to find the value of x. So you just go ahead and solve the equation. So you subtract 20 to both sides. So now you have -20 is equal to 10x. So to leave x alone, you're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 10. So now you have -2 is equal to x. So now you know that your y-intercept is equal to 20 and your x-intercept is equal to -2. And when you go ahead and graph that equation, you're also able to see that in the graph, when it crosses the y, you're going to have an x value of 20, and when it crosses the x, you're going to have a y value of -2. And so basically, again, x-intercepts and y-intercepts is when it crosses that certain axis, but the value of it is going to be when the opposite axis equals 0. So x-intercept, y equals 0, y-intercept, x equals 0. And that is how you can figure out intercepts, the definitions for the intercepts, as well as how you can apply it to your real life problems. Thank you.